The practice of letting go. Lightening the mind and heart. In Buddhism, letting go is essential to finding peace. It doesn't mean giving up, but rather releasing the things that no longer serve us, whether they are possessions, past regrets, or expectations of the future. This process frees us from unnecessary suffering, allowing us to experience life with an open heart. Steps to practice letting go. 1. Reflect on what weighs you down. Identify thoughts, objects, or relationships that may be causing stress or unhappiness. Ask yourself if holding on to these things benefits your peace. 2. Release regrets. Rather than dwelling on past mistakes or missed opportunities, view them as lessons. Accept that they're part of your journey, helping you to grow. 3. Visualize the freedom of letting go. Imagine your life without the weight of these attachments. Visualize the sense of lightness, clarity, and happiness that letting go can bring. Story. A teacher once held a glass of water and asked her students, "How heavy is this glass?" The students guessed, but she replied, "It depends on how long you hold it. The longer I hold it, the heavier it feels." The lesson was clear. Some things, like the weight of a glass, become burdens only when we refuse to release them. Letting go allows us to live freely, unburdened by the past. The role of joy in everyday life. Discovering happiness in the ordinary. Buddhism teaches us that joy is not found solely in grand experiences but often in the simplicity of everyday life. By embracing each moment with a mindful heart, we can uncover joy in the most ordinary things. Tips for finding joy daily. 1. Savor small moments, instead of rushing through your day. Take time to notice the beauty around you. Appreciate a sunrise, a quiet evening, or a warm meal. 2. Engage fully in each activity, whether you're working, cooking, or spending time with loved ones. Try to be fully present. This presence transforms routine activities into sources of joy. 3. Practice non-judgment. Release judgments of how your life should be. Happiness is not defined by an ideal scenario but by your openness to appreciate life as it unfolds. Story. A man, often consumed by stress, began practicing mindfulness during his daily routines. He started noticing joy in washing his hands, feeling the warmth of the water, and enjoying the sensation. This simple shift brought a profound sense of peace, showing that happiness is accessible in every moment when we are open to it. Conclusion. A journey of inner transformation. Throughout this journey into Buddhist teachings, we've explored tools that guide us toward lasting happiness. By embracing impermanence, practicing mindfulness, cultivating compassion, and learning to let go, we can create a life filled with peace and joy that is not dependent on circumstances. Final reflection. Remember that happiness is a choice, a path we walk each day. Each moment offers an opportunity to practice peace, gratitude, and kindness. These teachings are not just ideas but practices that, when applied daily, can transform how you experience life. Daily practice. Set an intention each morning to bring one of these teachings into your day. Whether it's practicing mindfulness, showing compassion, or letting go of expectations, let this intention guide you. Happiness, as you'll discover, is not something you chase but something that grows naturally within. Thank you for joining this journey. May you carry these teachings into your daily life, finding joy, peace, and meaning in each moment. If this video has brought value to your life, consider sharing it with others. Let's walk this path of wisdom and happiness together. Have you ever wondered why happiness seems so elusive? We often chase it through achievements, possessions, or relationships, only to find that joy slips away once again. But what if the secret to lasting happiness lies not in seeking it externally, but in cultivating it within ourselves? Imagine starting each day with a sense of calm, gratitude, and inner joy, one that's unaffected by circumstances. This video is an invitation to explore timeless Buddhist teachings that reveal a different approach to happiness. Together, we'll uncover the tools to build a life filled with joy, peace, and balance. Stick with us to the end, where we'll explore practical steps and reflections that can truly transform how you experience each day. The foundation of true happiness. Buddhism teaches that happiness is not something we attain but something we develop from within. Instead of attaching joy to external factors like wealth, success, or praise, Buddhism guides us to cultivate inner qualities like compassion, mindfulness, and acceptance. Example: think back to a time when you felt deep joy, perhaps while connecting with loved ones or enjoying nature. These moments weren't tied to things or achievements, but to a sense of peace and presence. This is the essence of Buddhist happiness. It's a state of mind, cultivated through our thoughts, actions, and inner practices. Impermanence, learning to embrace change. One of the core teachings in Buddhism is the concept of anicca, or impermanence. Everything in life, whether it's material possessions, relationships, or even our own thoughts, is constantly changing. Often, we try to hold on to things, believing that their permanence will bring us happiness. But when these things inevitably change, we feel disappointed, hurt, or even heartbroken. Embracing impermanence, understanding that everything is temporary, can be liberating. Instead of clinging to the idea that things should remain the same, we learn to appreciate each moment for what it is, allowing us to experience life with an open heart. Practical insight: imagine holding a beautiful flower. When you admire it without clinging, you can appreciate its beauty in that moment. But if you hold on too tightly, it withers in your hands. Impermanence teaches us to enjoy life's beauty while it's here, knowing that change is natural and nothing lasts forever. Story: a student once asked a Zen master, "How can I stop feeling afraid of losing the things I love?" The master replied, "Hold each thing as you would a butterfly. Admire its beauty without clutching it, and it will bless you with its freedom." This story reminds us that happiness flows more freely when we embrace change, rather than fear it. Understanding suffering, the path to liberation. At first, talking about suffering may seem counterintuitive in a discussion on happiness. However, Buddhism offers a profound perspective. Recognizing and understanding suffering is the first step toward liberation. This is illustrated in the Buddha's Four Noble Truths, which begin with the acknowledgement of suffering as an inherent part of life. The Four Noble Truths. 1. The truth of suffering, dukkha. Life inevitably involves suffering, through pain, loss, disappointment, and change. 2. The cause of suffering. Our suffering often arises from attachments, desires, and expectations that the world or people around us will remain as we want them to be. 3. The end of suffering. By understanding and letting go of these attachments, we can alleviate our suffering. 4. The path to freedom. The Noble Eightfold Path provides guidance on cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline as a path to happiness. Story: a wise monk, during his travels, encountered many hardships, from harsh weather to unfriendly villagers. Rather than becoming frustrated, He chose to see each difficulty as a teacher. This perspective allowed him to respond with patience and kindness, transforming what could have been suffering into a journey of inner growth. By accepting life's natural challenges, he found peace in the midst of difficulty, a peace that was not dependent on external conditions. Practicing mindfulness, the key to present moment happiness. Mindfulness is one of the most essential practices in Buddhism. It encourages us to be fully present, observing our experiences without judgment. In a world filled with distractions, mindfulness grounds us, allowing us to find joy in the small, often unnoticed moments of everyday life. Practical tips for mindfulness. 1. Mindful breathing. Take a few minutes each day to focus on your breath. Notice each inhale and exhale, feeling the air entering and leaving your body. This simple exercise can calm your mind and bring you back to the present. 2. Mindful walking. When walking, pay attention to the sensation of each step, the contact of your feet with the ground, the sounds around you, and the rhythm of your movement. Walking mindfully transforms a routine task into a peaceful, grounding experience. 3. Mindful eating. Engage fully with the experience of eating. Notice the flavors, textures, and aroma of each bite. By focusing on your senses, you can transform a meal into an experience of gratitude and joy. Story: a woman struggling with anxiety began practicing mindfulness during her morning routine. Instead of checking her phone as she walked to work, she began noticing the flowers, the sunlight, and even the rhythm of her footsteps. This shift in focus brought her peace, turning a previously stressful morning into a mindful, calming experience. Letting go, the freedom of detachment. One of the core teachings in Buddhism is the practice of detachment, not as a form of indifference, but as a way to release the weight of attachments that cause suffering. Detachment allows us to hold things lightly, with an open hand, so that we can experience life fully without clinging. Practical exercise in letting go. 1. Reflect on your attachments. Consider something you feel deeply attached to, perhaps a possession, an expectation, or even a self-image. Reflect on why you feel attached to it and what it brings to your life. 2. Ask yourself, is this attachment serving your peace? Often, by simply observing our attachments, we begin to release them. 3. Practice gratitude. When you recognize the value of something without clinging to it, gratitude naturally arises. This allows you to enjoy each moment without the fear of losing it. Story: a teacher once told her students to imagine holding onto a pebble tightly. Over time, their hands grew tired, and the pebbles left marks on their palms. The lesson was simple: by clinging, we create unnecessary pain. But when we open our hands and let go, we find relief. This is the essence of detachment. It's about releasing what doesn't serve our peace. Equanimity, cultivating inner balance. Equanimity, or upeka, is the ability to remain calm and balanced through life's ups and downs. It's the strength to face adversity with grace, knowing that all things pass. Practicing equanimity. 1. Observe without judgment. When emotions arise, take a step back and simply observe them. Notice how they come and go, like clouds in the sky. 2. Find the middle path. Instead of getting swept away by strong feelings, find balance. When happiness comes, enjoy it. When sadness comes, accept it with patience. 3. Build resilience. With regular practice, equanimity becomes a natural response, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm. Story: a farmer once lost his horse. and his neighbors came to console him. But the farmer replied, "Who knows what's good or bad?" Days later, the horse returned with a group of wild horses. The neighbors celebrated. But the farmer simply said, "Who knows?" This story of equanimity teaches us that life's events are neither inherently good nor bad, it's our response that defines our peace. Conclusion: happiness as a daily practice. Through these teachings, mindfulness, compassion, detachment, and equanimity, Buddhism offers a path to happiness that is not dependent on external circumstances. Each principle guides us toward a joy that is resilient, peaceful, and enduring. Daily practice: set a daily intention. Whether to be mindful, compassionate, or accepting of change. With time, you'll find happiness is not something to chase but a state that arises naturally within. Thank you for joining this journey. May these teachings inspire you to cultivate a life filled with joy, peace, and a profound sense of purpose. The power of non-attachment, freeing yourself from suffering. Non-attachment, or anatta, is a central concept in Buddhism and an essential path toward lasting happiness. Unlike detachment, which might imply distancing or disconnecting, non-attachment encourages us to interact with life fully, but without clinging. It teaches us that while it's natural to love, to care, and to invest in things, our peace of mind should not depend on external factors or outcomes. Practicing non-attachment. 1. Reflect on the temporary nature of everything. Begin by recognizing that all things, including relationships, achievements, and material possessions, are impermanent. Remind yourself that appreciating these things doesn't mean you need to hold on to them tightly. 2. Cultivate gratitude for each moment. Embrace each experience with an open heart, knowing that it won't last forever. This mindset enables us to truly cherish each moment without anxiety about its ending. 3. Embrace flexibility in expectations. Instead of expecting life to unfold in a specific way, be open to various possibilities. When we release the need for control, we create space for peace. Story: there was once a man who owned a beautiful teacup, which he treasured dearly. One day, while having tea with friends, he accidentally knocked it over, and it shattered. Instead of reacting with sadness, he simply smiled and said, "That cup was already broken in my mind." He had practiced non-attachment, appreciating its beauty while accepting that it wouldn't last forever. Developing a grateful heart, finding happiness in small things. Gratitude is a powerful practice in Buddhism, as it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have. This simple shift cultivates a deep sense of joy, helping us to recognize the abundance that life offers. Daily gratitude practice. 1. Morning reflection. Begin each day with a moment of gratitude. Think of 3 things, however small, that you are thankful for. This practice sets a positive tone for your day and opens your heart to life's blessings. 2. Gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down a few things that brought you joy. Even if they seem ordinary: a warm cup of tea, a kind word, or the sound of rain. Over time, this habit trains your mind to notice the beauty in small moments. 3. Thank the people around you. Often, we overlook the importance of the people in our lives. Take time to express your gratitude toward friends, family, or colleagues, either through words or small acts of kindness. Story: a monk once asked his students to write down one thing they were grateful for each day. At first, they struggled, listing only the obvious. But as the weeks passed, They began to notice subtle joys, the warmth of the sun, a cool breeze, or a gentle smile. They discovered that happiness was already present in their lives, waiting to be acknowledged. Equanimity in relationships, nurturing balanced connections. Relationships often bring us some of life's greatest joys. But they can also be a source of pain if we hold on to expectations or judgments. Practicing equanimity in relationships involves approaching connections with balance, accepting each person as they are, without trying to control or change them. Building balanced relationships. 1. Release expectations. Understand that each person is on their unique path. By letting go of expectations, we create space for authentic connections. 2. Listen with compassion. Be present when engaging with others. Listening without judgment. True listening is an act of love, allowing others to feel seen and valued. 3. Allow for growth and change. Just as we evolve, so do those around us. Embrace the changes in others, allowing them the freedom to grow without feeling threatened or disappointed. Example: a man struggling with a close friend's decisions found himself increasingly frustrated. After learning about equanimity, he realized he was holding on to expectations of how his friend should behave. By releasing these expectations, he found a renewed sense of peace and was able to approach their friendship with acceptance and respect.